There's a tendency we have, and you guys just alluded to the tendency we have to make things other people's problems. And I get it, because I hate owning my own mistakes. I hate finding out that even in my best intentions, maybe I haven't done the right thing, or maybe I haven't said the right thing. And then on an even deeper level, I hate to find out I didn't have the best intentions. But I feel like another way we often, especially in Britain, we may point the finger is we go, well, isn't that an American problem? Isn't that something, all of these events that we're talking about right now, of course we can't say historically they've all been there, but all the events that are on the news right now are 4,000 miles away. Why are we talking about this in Britain? Is there really a race issue in Britain, or is this just an American thing? And how would you respond to that?
Yeah, yes, it's the simple answer. There is a race issue in Britain. At risk of getting lost in the weeds about statistics and numbers, and the overrepresentation of black people in the prison system and things like that. What I would say about the British culture here, and I think most Brits would agree with me, is, we just shut the door more. Things are swept under the carpet more. It's more covert here. In many ways, it's even more dangerous because it's more interwoven into the fabric of a country that historically traveled around the world, telling other countries here's how they ought to do things, inviting other countries here to come and work, and then denying them of the rights of citizenship and things of that nature. We saw that with the Windrush generation. So if anything, it's more pernicious here because it's harder to identify. We know you can't solve things if you can't spot things and name them. And in many ways, people here go, well, it doesn't exist. And for that reason, the process of healing can't even begin. Because first, folks haven't put some things on the table. Whatever you don't put on the table, it's hard for God to deal with, right? So you first have to start by saying, here's the problem we have. And so in the UK, it's almost a double-edged fight, or multi-level fight. One is waking people up. And then the second thing is going, well, let's now work at solving this problem. So it does exist in the UK. Anywhere where you have different races, there's a possibility for racism. And as you said, I think Stacey brilliantly said it, even if it were the case that the UK had this wonderful racial harmony, well, let's get more. Let's push for more, because chances are some people are displaced, and not everyone gets to feel the racial harmony we feel in our church or we feel in that church. So ultimately, this isn't a case of, like I said, it's not a case of you've been diagnosed with something, let's get rid of it. No, this is how do we look more and more like Jesus? That's the point about it. Those who are oppressed and those who are oppressing, how do we look more like Jesus? Even folks who are wronged, I think we look like Jesus. I think the greatest test for when we look like Jesus is when we are in the right. What we do when we're actually in the right. When we have the right to say the stuff we're saying, what do we say? When someone's really at our mercy, how we act and how we behave. So for those who are black who are listening, equally there's a call to look like Christ as well. There's been much online about, well, if you're angry, it's legitimate and be angry. Well, not quite. Anger is okay. But anger has to mature. It can't just stay as anger. It's got to turn into something else. Folks go, Jesus was angry. Well, he didn't stay angry. Thank God he didn't just turn tables over and sit down and sulk. No, he then walked around and he performed miracles and he healed and he taught and he did other things. Ultimately, he was murdered by a system, but that murder led to our justification. What the enemy meant for evil, God meant it for our good. So equally, the persecution black people have felt, we have to turn that into something. We can't just stay angry and bitter. We have to organize. We have to teach. We have to educate. And yes, it's tiring to continuously educate, but we have to be empowered by the Holy Spirit. We have to do that. So I don't want it to sound like this is a season for white people just to listen and for black people to be angry. So, no, we're capable of more than just one singular emotion in each place. Listen, become an ally, help out, tear down systems, be angry, but teach, build frameworks. We've just got to make it a bit more elastic. I think it's very static right now. Anger, and I feel sorry for myself. No, there's more to it than that. And I think you've opened the door on that already.